Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Springfield Elementary, which is of course the school from the show The Simpsons. If you like this video, all I ask is that you please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to make any more Simpsons builds or any cartoon houses in general, please check out the card system and the description below. There will be loads of Simpsons builds in that playlist that I'll be linking, the cartoon builds playlist, and there'll also be all sorts of other cartoon builds that I think that you guys might want to make too. But that is everything, guys. Let's get started. So, to begin, I should let you know that the school will require a 55 block by a 31 block area to make. 55 blocks wide left to right and 31 blocks long front to back. We also need all of these materials that you can see in my inventory and hotbar right now. Pause the video if necessary, make sure that you have them all. Make sure that you've got enough room. Make sure that you are prepared, because once you do have all your stuff, once you've figured out a nice place to make the school, you want to, if you have made this grid in your world, it's up to you whether you make it, you don't need to, but if you have, you want to make your way to the front left-hand corner of the grid. You then want to count into the grid to the right by 1, 2, and then you want to count inwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That way, if you've made the grid too, we're starting in the same place. We're going to begin with a row of 9 orange concrete coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We then want to go right also by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we want to do two things. Not only do we want to connect that 9th block down to the ground, but we also want to go up on top of it by a further 8. That's important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. Perfect. And what we then want to do is we want to place 2 rows of orange in front of this row. So from like top to bottom, 2 rows of orange. That's 1 and 2. Just like this. Directly in front like that. We then want to place a row of purple in front of that. So in front of all of the orange that you just placed, place a row of purple. You then want to take the top row of the purple, which is this purple block right here, and you want to go to the right of it by 10 using your orange. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to place a purple concrete behind this, and you want to connect that purple concrete down to the ground. Like that. However, we also want to take that purple concrete that you just connected down to the ground, and you want to place 3 purple on top. That'll be 1, 2, and 3. Like that. What you then want to do is you want to place 2 rows of purple to the right. Okay, so you want to place 2 rows of purple to the right. That's 1 coming all the way down to the ground, and 2 also coming all the way down to the ground like that. You want to take the first row of purple that you placed here, and you want to place 1 purple on top to make it higher than the one previously. The second row of purple, you want to place 2 purple on top to make it higher than the row that you just placed previously. And you want to take that first row of purple, this one, and you want to extend it 1 row in front of itself, like this, so that it is 1 row in front of that very first initial row of purple. However, we want to take the second row and we want to place 2 rows in front. So this will be 1 row in front, and then 2 rows of purple directly in front of that. So we will have a nice staggered few rows of purple. We then want to place, we want to come to the top of the longest and biggest row of purple, this one, and we want to come 1 block down, so not this block, but you want to find this one, And you want to place a row of, I actually have to calculate this because I didn't actually include the, you want to place 7 orange concrete to the right of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you want to place a purple concrete. And then place a purple concrete on top. And then place a row of purple coming all the way down to the ground. You guys might even be able to see where this is going, right? So what we've basically just made is like 1/2 of the front left-hand side of the school, and now we're going to be making the other half of the front right-hand side of the school. It's literally the same, except it's mirrored. Anyway, we now want to take this row of purple that we've made, and we want to extend it 2 rows backwards. So 1 row, and then 2 rows, like that. We then want to place... It's kind of tricky to reverse it. We then want to place a row of purple starting from the back, like we want to take the back left top block, like this. We want to take this top block at the back here. We want to move 1 block down, and we want to place a row of purple that is 1 row shorter than the row of purple that we have on the left, like this. So you take that back row, you want to extend it to the right, and you want to knock 1 block off the top. Which is incidentally what you then want to do with the row that you've just made. You want to, starting from the top, take the block just 1 block below, and then you want to place a row of purple concrete coming all the way from the top to the bottom, like this. You then want to take this middle row of purple here and place an entire row of purple in front of it. And the goal here, if you're getting confused, I do apologize, but the goal is simply to copy what we have on the opposite side, right? It should be fairly simple to see. So, why don't we add a bit of detail in here? Because I think that we benefit from adding a bit of detail. Okay, so we want to begin by coming all the way up to this top middle row of orange concrete. Yeah? So this top middle row of orange concrete between the 2 purple pillars. Place orange concrete behind the concrete. So place an entire row of orange behind it, like that. We then want to take this row that we placed, and underneath it, starting from the left, we want to place 2 orange concretes going right. 1, 2, 3 purple. 1, 2, 3. And then 2 orange. 1, 2. Like that. We then want to place glass underneath the purple. And then purple underneath the glass. And then 2 rows of glass underneath the purple. And then we want to place purple underneath the glass. Left of all of the purple and all of the glass, we want to place on the left and right hand side another row of purple to make a window, like this. We then want to place orange concrete all around the window on the left, underneath, and to the right of it. Like that. We then want to place a row of purple concrete underneath everything we just placed. And we want to take the left hand side of the purple concrete and extend it down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend it all the way to the right, and then up. And fill the center of this in using yellow concrete. Like that. We then want to place a row of purple behind the row of purple that you just placed, directly behind it. And then place a row of red concrete directly underneath that. So we want to have something which should look very much like this. Okay, you then want to take the left hand side of the row of red, and you want to go down by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend it all the way to the right, like this, and then up. So we want to have basically just a box, pretty much. We then want to split that box in the middle, top to bottom, like this. We then want to fill it with glass, so place glass all the way inside of the box that we've just made, like this. We then want to grab orange terracotta and we want to make 2 door handles. And basically these door handles start here. Like it'll be quite easy to see where you want to place it. You basically want to place an orange terracotta here and here. And you want to extend them up by 1. So they're like those long like door pullers where you're not sure whether you push or you pull. It's those things. And that's what you want to have right there. If you like, you can then connect the red concrete blocks down to the ground using some form of material. It doesn't really matter. Like that. You then want to take the very bottom row of whatever you used to connect the doors down to the ground and extend it 1 row towards you, like this. So this is kind of what we've got going on. And then we want to place a row of stone bricks in front of this and on top. So we want to have something which should look like that. So that's what we want to have. You can see that actually looks quite good. And there's just one little bit of detail that we might as well add here whilst we are here. And that is that we want to, in front of the purple concrete block that we just connected the stairs to, place an orange concrete, extend it left by 2, 1, 2, extend it inwards, and connect it together in the corner to make, it kind of looks like stairs really. And then place another row of orange concrete on top, and it kind of just adds a nice corner to the pillar. And we want the same on the opposite side too. So on this side, like if you, in front of this, you place an orange concrete, right 2, connect in the corner, and then you just place some orange concrete like this. Perfect. And you should end up with something that should look exactly like that. That's perfect. And once you have done that, we can probably add a little bit more detail, honestly. Why don't we add all the detail to the left-hand side, and then we can like build the frame for the right-hand side, and then we can fill that in. I think that seems like a pretty decent idea. I don't see why not. Okay. So, to start off, we want to come all the way up to this row of orange concrete that we have, like, in between the entrance and the left-hand side, like this row of orange concrete. And you want to place a row of orange concrete directly behind. So, you want to place, behind that row of orange concrete, another row of orange. And then you want to place 2 rows of orange coming down. That's 1, and then 2, just like this. And then underneath this row of orange, starting from the left, moving right, place an orange concrete, 3 purple, 1, 2, 3, an orange, and 3 purple, 1, 2, 3. Place an orange. Underneath the purple, place 3 rows of glass. 1, 2, and 3, like this. And then place a row of purple underneath the glass. Also, I do apologise if I am going a bit fast. I don't know whether I am going a bit fast, but I hope that you guys are able to keep up. We then want to place 2 rows of orange underneath the glass, or underneath the purple, I should say. 1 row of orange, and 2. And then place another row of purple. And then 3 rows of glass. 1, 2, 3, and then a row of purple, and that's what you want to have right there. You also want to take those rows of purple at the bottom of the windows, and you want to extend them 1 row towards you, just like this, to make like window ledges, window sills, whatever you want to call them, the sticky out part of the window. And then all we want to do is fill in the rest of the wall of this part of the school anyway, in using orange concrete. It's fairly simple, really. The skull isn't that hard to make, I hope. I hope that I've made it fairly simple. I think it could be quite difficult if you made it in a weird way, but I am hoping that I have made it as easy as possible. Fingers crossed. So we want to have something which should look like that. And that'll actually look a bit better once we start adding some bushes and stuff later on, but hey, until then. Okay, next part, let's do it. So the next part is this little bit right here. It's quite easy to deal with. Underneath this row of orange that we have right here, you want to place, let me make sure I'm getting this right. You want to place an additional row of orange directly underneath, okay? Just directly underneath like that, underneath that row of orange. And then starting from the left, going right, you want to place 3 purple, 1, 2, 3, an orange, and then 3 purple, 1, 2, 3, like this. Kind of looks like eyebrows for somebody who is orange. Kind of looks like an Oompa Loompa, but with purple hair. Anyway, once you've got that done, we want to place 3 rows of glass underneath the purple. So 1 row of glass, and then 2, and then 3, like that. And then a row of purple underneath the last row of glass. And you can extend that row of purple towards you by 1 row, because that's the bottom of the window. And then all we have to do is fill this particular part of the school, this little left-hand part, in using orange concrete. And that will be like half of the front of the school complete. And it's actually quite a big achievement, because the front of the school is quite a bit more difficult than the back of the school. But we want to have something which should look like that, alright? That's looking pretty good. Now, once you have done that, we do have to focus on the next part of the school, which is, of course, going to be the right-hand side. So, the easiest way that I can describe this, right, is you can see this row of orange here, in the middle, at the top. This row of orange, this long bit, that connects to the middle part of the school. You want to, keeping in line with this row of orange, so this block, you want to locate this block, move right, and in the same place, I do believe that it's this block right here, you want to place a row of 10 orange, 10, going right. So that look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then stick a purple on the end. So let's just make sure that we've got this right, because it's even, it's easy to make. Once you've got one side right, you've got the other side right. It's quite easy to just make sure. So you can see it's the same place on both sides, right? Cool. Next, we extend the purple down towards the ground by 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to place 3 orange concrete coming backwards. So that's 1, 2, 3, like this. We then want to extend that orange concrete to the right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And extend that 9th block all the way down to the ground. So, we will have quite a confusing looking shape. It looks like this, but we can make it a lot easier. We'll make this a lot easier to identify, don't worry. Okay, so first, we want to take the row of purple and now extend it down to the ground, like this. Extend it all the way down to the ground. And behind the purple, we want to take the rows of orange, and we want to place rows of orange directly behind the rows of purple until the orange is equal to the row that we just placed going horizontally. So like that, basically. And you can do the same thing underneath if you like too, so just to make it all even so that there's no weird gaps and holes in the skull, because that'd be a bit weird. We want to have something which should look like that. Okay, we're not doing too bad now, right? Now it looks a lot more approachable, more manageable. Now, we're going to do the same thing that we did on that side to this side, which means we want to take this row of 10 orange, and we want to place a row of orange behind it. If you guys can remember, that was the first step. We placed a row of orange behind it. And then we place 2 rows of orange moving down. That'll be 1 row of orange, followed by 2. And then you can start on the left, and underneath this row to the right, place an orange, 3 purple, 1, 2, 3. Orange, 3 purple, 1, 2, 3. Like that. And again, sorry if that's... I feel like I'm going a bit fast. I think it's because I've already done it one time before now, but I do apologize. We then want to place 3 rows of glass underneath. 1, 2, and 3. And then a row of purple underneath the glass. Like that. And then we want to place 2 rows of orange. 1. And then 2. And then a row of glass, row of purple. 3 rows of glass. 1, 2, 3. And then a row of purple. Like that. And then we're going to take the rows of purple, the bottom rows, and we're going to extend them towards us so that it makes nice little windowsills just like that. Then we can fill the entire remaining area in using orange concrete like this. So we just want to completely fill in the remaining area in using orange concrete. Just like that. So, when we take a look at it, it should be nice and even on both sides. Yeah, we're getting this together now. Perfect. So once you have done that, we now have to work our way all the way over here to the right. And we want to do a similar thing here on the right as well. So underneath this top row of orange concrete that we have just placed, we want to place underneath it another row of orange concrete. Like that. And then starting from the left going right, underneath this row place an orange, 3 purple, 1, 2, 3, an orange, and then we want to place 3 purple, 1, 2, 3. We then want to place 3 rows of glass underneath the purple, 1, 2, 3, and then a row of purple underneath the glass, like this. And then we can extend those bottom rows of purple towards us by 1 row. And then we can fill the rest of this in using orange concrete, like this. Like that. So in between the windows and underneath, we just want to eventually end up, it should just look the exact same as the opposite side really. We want to end up with something that should look like this. It's looking quite nice like that. That's the front of the skull pretty much done. The next part is of course going to be the sides. Alrighty then, so I want you guys to make your way all the way up to the top back of the skull. Alright? So we are looking for this point on the back of the skull, like the middle top part, and the opposite side too. And what we want to do is we want to take these top back middle blocks, like you guys can find this, no problem, right? I'm sure you can. You want to extend this backwards with your orange concrete by 18. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the skull goes back quite a long way really. We then want to place a purple concrete in front of that and extend the purple to the left by 11 using orange concrete. It's actually, I do apologize, it's 9 using orange concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then place a purple. Then place 11 orange concrete going left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then place a purple. And then place 9 more orange concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then place another purple. And then connect that purple to the front of the build using orange concrete like this. So we want to have something which should effectively look exactly like that. So from the top view, and you'll know whether it connects properly because of course you will have connected to the front. The next thing we want to do is we want to connect all of the purple blocks, each one of them down to the ground. And this is going to create the separations in the back of the skull. And I'll show you what I mean by, I'll show you what I mean by separations in a second. So if you just connect all of the purple blocks down to the ground, you'll notice that the skull will naturally split itself into nice, easy to build segments. So we want to have something which should look exactly like that. Alright, that's looking pretty good if I do say so myself. So why don't we actually add some detail to this part before we do the other part, which is going to be extending the rest of the skull back. Let's add some fun stuff. Okay, we'll start with the middle. So the row of 11 orange concrete that we placed earlier, extend it backwards by a row using your orange concrete. Extend it back a row using orange concrete, like this. You then want to place You then want to take the left hand side of the row of orange concrete and connect it all the way down to the ground. Like this. All the way down to the ground. And then you want to place a row of 3 orange concrete coming in front of it. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then place a row on top. And then place orange concrete directly to the right of what you've just made, like this. And that can also include the row that you brought down to the ground as well, so you want to have a shape which should look very similar to this. And you want to do the same thing on the opposite side, alright? So you want to take the very back right hand corner orange, you want to extend it all the way down to the ground like so. Take the block that hits the ground and extend it forwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Place a row of orange on top. Extend it inwards. And then add another row of orange inside. So effectively, we want to have something which should look like this, which actually looks like 2 orange legs, funnily enough. We then want to do this. You want to connect the bottom of these rows together with a different color, like place 2 rows of purple at the bottom, like connecting the bottom together inwards. And just place 2 rows of anything, it really doesn't matter. Like this. And you also want to place in front of the bottom row of purple, another row of purple. So this is what we're kind of looking for, right? You connect the bottom 2 rows together, and then extend the bottom row outwards. And the reason for that is we then want to place stone brick stairs in front of that row and on top of it as well. So in front and on top. We then want to place an entire row of red concrete on top of the purple concrete. And extend the left red concrete upwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend it over to the right. And then down, and then cut it in half up the middle, like that. We then want to fill the doors in using glass, like this. And then we want to use orange terracotta to make those door handles that we did earlier. So like in this position and this position, and they want to be 2 rows high. So we want to have something which should look very much like this. And then once you've done that, we want to fill the above stay in using orange concrete. It should be fairly easy. Completely fill it in using orange concrete like this. And that will be the back middle part of the school. As you can see, it's a lot simpler than the front middle part of the school, which has loads of funny pillars and stuff. But that's what you want to have. Now, the other 2 sides are actually identical, and I do mean identical to the front counterparts. So like if you take this row of orange concrete here all the way up on the top left, and you place another row of orange directly behind it, like so. You can then place 2 rows of orange coming down from this row, so that will be 1 row of orange, and then 2 coming down. And then if you start on the left side of this row, underneath going right, place an orange, 3 purple, 1, 2, 3. An orange, 3 purple, 1, 2, 3, then an orange. Place 3 rows of glass underneath the purple, 1, 2, and 3. And then a row of purple underneath the glass. And then 3 layers of orange. Is it 3? No, 2 layers of orange, 1, and then 2. And then a layer of purple. And then 3 layers of glass. 1, 2, and 3. And then a layer of purple, like that. And then take the bottom rows of purple and extend them 1 row in front of you, like this. So we want to have something which should effectively look like that. And all we then have to do is just fill the rest of this in using orange concrete. And I do want to point to the fact that this is literally the same as the one that we have on the front. Like, if you were to look directly forward, you could actually copy it in advance, if you so wanted to. Now, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be helping you guys through every step of the process. but you could indeed just look directly forward if you have good enough eyes, and you can just copy what you've done. But this is what the end result should look like, and once you've done this on the left, we want to scoot over here and do the same thing on the right. Which means we begin with a row of orange behind the top of the orange. We then want to place 2 rows of orange underneath this. That's going to be 1 and 2. We then, starting from the left going right, want to place an orange, 3 purple, 1, 2, 3. Orange, 3 purple, 1, 2, 3. Then place 3 rows of glass underneath the purple. 1, 2, 3. And then a row of purple underneath that. And then 2 layers of orange. 1 and 2. A layer of purple. And then 3 layers of glass. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do a layer of purple. Like that. You want to take the bottoms of the windows and, of course, extend them 1 row towards you. You guys know that already. And then you want to fill in the remainder of the area using your orange concrete, which, again, I'm sure you guys already figured out anyway. And once we have done this, we should end up with a nice back view of the school, and there's not a load left to do. I mean, we've got quite a bit, but you know, we're cracking on nicely. So that is what we want to have so far, right? That's what we want to have for the back of the school. That looks pretty cool. So once you have done that, we now want to think about extending these orange bits backwards, like orange bits. A lot of this is orange. We want to extend out these smaller bits backwards too. So let me show you how you'd go about it. So you want to, say, come to the right side of the school, yeah? And you want to take this vertical row of orange, this one, and you want to extend this row of orange backwards by 16. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You then want to extend that row of 16 inwards until you are able to connect it to the row of purple, if that makes sense. And you also, not only do you want to extend like that bottom row of orange backwards by 16 rows, but you also do want to extend all of the rows of orange backwards that are behind it and above it. So you just want to extend the whole wall backwards, coming all the way to the back of the school, because of course we don't want any holes in this thing except the exit. That's the most important part of the school, if you ask me. Just get out, and we just want to extend this all the way back like this. Perfect. So on the back side of this, we can now work on the windows, which are an important part of this whole thing. So what you can also do is you can take the top of this wall and you can extend it inwards and equally connect it to the row of purple that we have as well to make like just a nice solid wall. And you can connect the corner up and down too, like that. And you can fill in this space using orange as well. It's important to keep filling in the spacer. And then you can add a row of orange inside of this too, so that you end up with a nice square box. And then we want to, starting from the top of this, add a row of orange underneath. And then starting from the left going right, place 3 purple concrete. 1, 2, 3. An orange, and then 3 more purple. 1, 2, and 3. Place 3 rows of glass underneath. 1, 2, 3. And then a row of purple. Extend the bottom purple towards you. And then fill the rest of it in using orange concrete. So we want to end up with something that should look exactly like this. And while we are here, you know, might as well do this. You can actually connect the front and back part of the school together, and like everything above, like as high as this part, like the small part of the building, you can actually fill this in on the sides of the school, because we're looking towards the end of this, right? We don't want to just leave everything until the very end. We want to do stuff as we build the school, and then that way we've got a lot less tedious jobs to do all in one go than we would have otherwise if we would have just left it until the end of the video. So it's better. I find it's better to do little jobs like this as you're going along, rather than leaving them all until the end, because otherwise you just won't be bothered to do it. But you'll have something which should look like that. It's looking really good. And the only finishing touch that you want to add to these small parts of the school is above and around the top of this, you want to place an orange concrete, a row of orange concrete more so. Like, you want to take this and you want to place a row of orange concrete going all the way around the top outside part of the right hand side of the school, and the left too. And you just want to go all the way around like this. Okay, that's perfect. And once you have done that, we should end up with something that should look like this. So you can see that looks quite good from the back. We got to do the other thing now though. So if we come to the opposite side, we got to do the other side. So if we come all the way to this side and we take this vertical row of orange concrete, and can you remember what you got to extend it back by? It is, I do believe, I want to make sure that I get this right. I want to go 16. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We then want to take that 16th block and extend it inwards and connect it to the purple, just as we did on the opposite side. And we want to take all of those vertical 16 blocks and we want to extend them backwards until they are equal in length to the original row of 16 that we did just extend across the floor like a snail. So we just want to extend it back like this, and that kind of reminds me of the snail, except it's not got a head, that's more so the shell. Anyway, we want to extend these all the way back like this till we get to about, hang on, one more row here. Boom. Then we want to take the top and we want to extend it inwards and then connect it to the purple. So we want to have something which should look like this. We want to fill in this this like connecting part here using orange concrete like that. We want to add another row of orange vertically top to bottom on the left like that. And then we are ready to add in the windows. So we take the top and we place a row of orange underneath the top overhanging row of orange. And then starting from the left of this row underneath, we place 3 purple going right. 1, 2, 3. An orange, and then 3 purple. 1, 2, 3. Place 3 rows of glass underneath. 1, 2, 3. And then a row of purple. And then you extend that bottom row of purple 1 row towards you, and you place orange concrete around the windows, in between them. You guys get the idea. We fill in the area like that. We also want to add a row of orange concrete that goes up and around the top of this side part of the school. It just wants to go all the way up and around the top of it, like this. Might sound a little bit weird then, I think I just covered my mouth whilst I spoke, but you guys get the idea, all the way up and around the top, like that. We also want to fill the middle part of the school in, like just the upper half, right? Like you don't have to go any higher than, you don't have to really fill in any higher than about here for the middle part of the school. And you just want to get this all filled in. And then you won't have any gaps in the school. I keep preaching about how important it is not to have any gaps in the school, and I stand by that. You don't want to have any weird gaps in your school. So we want to just fill all of this in using the orange concrete, moving towards the front like so. Do-de-do-de-do. Just like that. So all in all, we should have something which should look like that from the sides, and this from the back. Exact same thing that we did on the opposite side, actually. And then what we're going to be doing next? Well, the next thing we want to do actually involves the middle part of the school. Okay, so you want to come all the way up to the top, middle part of the school. Alright, and you're on the back. you are looking for specifically this block right here and this block right here, specifically those. You want to place 6 orange concrete coming backwards from each of these blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the same on the opposite side. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then connect those together like that. And then you want to place a row of orange inside of this. Alright, so like inside of this, what you've just done, like the U shape. And then that row of orange can be extended downwards, and you don't even have to extend it that far. About 4 rows will do, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you want to do the same to the rest of the inside row of orange. And that'll be it, because the roof will actually cover up the rest of it. Whilst we aren't going to be doing the roof on recording, we will be taking care of the roof kind of shortly, really. We're really moving on this tutorial, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot done, basically. So far, that's what we want to have. Nice and simple. You could even fill that in if you wanted to, like, maybe we can even fill this in using, like, orange. Nah, I hate that. Actually hate that. I don't know why I don't like that, but yeah, we'll just leave that empty and we'll come back to it later. I'll show you what we'll do to it later anyway. Oh, and also, for some reason, I'm just going to add orange behind these purples here, because, like, I had some weird gaps there. I mean, that's kind of what you're aiming for. And if you want to make it even, you can add some extra rows of orange, like, inside the left side, if this makes sense. And also inside the right side, because if you take a look from, like, the top, then it's like 2 rows of orange all the way around the inside, except for the actual left and right side. So you might want to add more orange inside anyway. I feel as though that I just said that so fast it sounded like gibberish, but that's what you want to have so far. Like, that's a large portion of the school. The next part of the school is we are going to be placing the flagpole. Okay, this is going to be kind of fun. I like the flagpole. I don't know why, I think it's a cool feature. So the flagpole is simply made out of light grey concrete, white, blue, and red. Or I should have said red, white, and blue, really, but hey. Oh, also we need yellow too, for the top. If you come to the front right-hand corner of the grid that we laid out for the school, and you move 1 row inwards diagonally, this is where the flagpole is going to be. And we want to place about 22 light grey concrete blocks coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Place a yellow concrete block on top of that, and then place, and we're actually making kind of like a draped American flag, right? So in front of the top light grey concrete, we want to place a blue, underneath it a red, and then 2 white, 1, 2. On the right hand side of the light grey concrete coming up to the top, we want to place 2 blue, 1, 2, 2 red, 1, 2, and a white. And the same on the left hand side, we want to place 2 blue, 1, 2, 2 red, 1, 2, and then a white. This is just a flag like draping at the top of the pole. And then the same on the back, like we want to place, what is it? It's like a blue, and then a red, and 2 white, just like that. Just a draping American flag. If you want, you can have it like flying in the wind, but that's what I've opted for instead. So that's what we want to have right there. But now we're going to add some bushes around the school. Okay, so it's fairly easy to do these. Let's start on the left-hand side of the school. Like, we're on the front of the school, we're on the left, we're going to move all the way over to the right. You want to start off by, and this is optional, by placing an entire row of green concrete in front of the bottom front window of the school. You want to raise up the blocks, or better yet, place green concrete blocks underneath the windows. And then you want to, in front of the blocks, underneath those blocks, so underneath these blocks that you placed under the windows, you want to take these blocks and extend them towards you. extend the middle block upwards, like that. And that's a bush. So like you extend these blocks, and then here. Like that. It's so easy. It's the same all the way around. Like you place a row of green, extend up the window blocks, take the window blocks on the ground, extend them towards you, and then extend up the middle. Like that. And I think it makes a huge difference to the school. I actually think it looks a lot better. And then if we come to the right hand side, the same thing. So like we start off with a row of green, raise up the window blocks, and also the ones at the bottom, extend the middle. Like that. It's so fast to do, and I think it really does look a lot better. And plus there's loads of bushes around Springfield Elementary, so like it's an actual proper, like it actually looks closer to Springfield Elementary in doing this. In my opinion. So like that's the front with bushes, and then like let's compare the back. I mean, it's up to you whether you want to do it. And then that's the back without bushes. I think the bushes look a little bit better. So that's just my opinion, right? But I mean, hey, that's just like your opinion, man. But it's I like it. I think it looks a bit better. So I'm gonna apply the whole thing to the back as well. I'm doing a very sloppy job of it. I'm trying to do it fast, guys, because I mean the time on this video is just ticking and ticking and ticking, and this is a very simple thing to do. You know, just the same thing on the back. Then I've just got these two to do as well. And then the last couple of jobs involve us doing the roof. We've got to fill the roof in. And we also have to add a bit of grass around Springfield Elementary, or at least I would recommend it. And we also have to add a couple of paths, but very, very simple stuff anyway. So we want to have something which should look like that, or at least that's with the bushes. I think it looks a lot cooler, in my opinion. It looks a bit more cartoony. I like it. So on the back of the school, and equally so the front actually, we only need these materials left, I believe. We only need like stone bricks, lime concrete, and that might be it. Okay, so I am going to show you where the paths are and where the grass is. So like the steps on the back of the school, I'm going to dig in front of them, and I'm going to extend them forwards. Like I'm going to dig in front of the steps, and I'm going to dig in the ground. I'm going to replace that with stone bricks like this. Okay, just stone bricks digging out into the perimeter. That path would be longer depending upon where you've placed your school and how much of a path you want. The front of the school also has a path. Equally so, we dig in front of the steps, leading to the outer boundary of the school here, and that also gets replaced with stone bricks as well, like that. Everywhere else, all around inside of this boundary that we've created using green concrete, everywhere inside here, like all of this, all around the bushes, blah blah blah, is going to be lime concrete because it contrasts very nicely with the rest of the area, the rest of the school. I think it looks a lot nicer than regular grass or perhaps even lime terracotta. So those are the paths. Everywhere else will be lime concrete. And I'm not going to do this on recording, but also the roof. You can either use stone bricks to fill in your roofs, and there's a lot of them. Like if you have a look from the top, we've got a lot of roofs to fill in. All of these, they can either be stone bricks, which are easier, or you can painstakingly use stone brick slabs instead in the same manner to fill in your roofs. It should be fairly simple to figure out where you place them. It's just like literally just like half a row below the tops of each parts of the roof. So whether you want the stone bricks or the stone slabs, that's that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to do all of those things off recording. I'm going to replace the grass with lime concrete, and I'm going to replace the roof using stone brick slabs. This is going to take me a long, long time. I'm not going to do it on recording. So I'll get all that done, and then I'll show you the school, and then we'll both be in the same place, like if you do the same thing. The grass, the roof, perfect. So this is what Springfield Elementary should look like once you have replaced all of the grass and once you have filled the roof in as well. I opted to go with these stone slabs, however, it doesn't really make a difference whether you use the stone bricks or the slabs. I like the slabs a little bit more, but it's no big deal either way, it really isn't. Oh, and I also added some colour to the windows too, however, if you do plan on using the build, you probably won't do that yourself. So that's what yours should look like once you have done the exact same thing, the grass and the roof pretty much. Now, I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do remember to hit that like button, I'd really appreciate that. That is your Springfield Elementary made. If you'd like to keep up to date with me in the future, please subscribe and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That ensures that you double subscribe and you actually get my stuff sent directly to your sub box, which it doesn't always happen. Now, if you would like to make more stuff by me, I'd highly recommend the card system and the description below. As you can see, I've got a lot of stuff around me. There's plenty of builds to make. That's the Batcave, by the way. It's kind of difficult to tell what it is, but I'm sure that you guys are noticing a lot of other stuff around me, right? I'm sure that you guys can recognize a lot of stuff, and it keeps going and going and going and going and going. So check out the card system in the description below. That is where you want to be. The cartoon builds playlist, great playlist. I'm sure you guys would love it. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. School's out, video's over. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you so much. See you in the next one. Goodbye. And this video's subscriber shout out goes to the one and only, no other than Homer Simpson, who has been requesting this tutorial for as long as I can remember. I don't know how many times Homer has actually requested this, but I thought that this was perfect. Homer, thank you so much for suggesting this. It was a real blast to make. It was a blast to design, and I'm glad that I've actually finally got the tutorial out there. You really set me right here. If you want to check out Homer's channel, I'm going to leave a link down below there in the description. All that. I'm not sure Homer has any videos. I would be wrong. Homer does have some videos. So if you want to check out Homer, go over there, subscribe, maybe see if it's the real Homer. It's not. It's probably not, but hey, you never know, do you? Anyway, thank you so much for commenting and being persistent. I really did enjoy this, enjoy making this tutorial. So if you guys would like to check him out, I'm going to leave him down below in the description, as I said. Thank you so much to everybody that likes on the videos, comments on the videos, subscribes, clicks the little bell. I really do appreciate you. I really do. It might not have been you this time. It absolutely could be you next time. I'll see you guys in the next video.